you know, so yeah, as soon as an orange horse wanders into my colony, it typically gets cold. And in the case of that particular horse, I'm sure it was really more of a creamy sort of color. But yeah, no can do. It had to die. Also, I'll probably put some of these on hiatus to get built so that we can get the solars built first, because we do need power. How you doing, Ray? What are you up to? I'm still trying to keep my colonists alive through winter at the moment. Well, not winter. Alive coming up to, like, you know, the following winter and shit is ideally it. Ostrich eggs. I don't need leathers. Let's go down to... yeah. And I've got some shit for them to sell. I think they've swapped out the helmets, which is fine, because we're down to about 70 people that have tattered apparel. Still haven't, like, sold off the tippy top of stuff. Here we go. Now we're getting into it. I don't want to sell them the gold. I do want to sell them the statues. I might sell them the normal one. Might as well sell them that, because they've got the money. So I could get, like, could do shit with wood. But I think this will do. Worst case scenario, as I can still gift them some leathers and shit. So alright. The only other thing I gotta do is I do have to gift them shit. They are on 64. Alright, where are you guys? I need you. No, don't drop it. I need you to do a trade again so I can gift them shit. Play RimWorld. Yeah, then I'll play. Also, I watch you, then I want to play. Yeah, that'll happen. That seems to happen really consistently with just about any game I play. Is I start playing something and then people witness me playing it, and then all of a sudden they really want to play it, which is fair. Also, we need to make some cloth, because apparently that's all disappeared. So I am starting to get a bit low on my leather quantities, but we should be okay for still a bit. I've still got a lot of muffler wool, which is okay. I don't need it over summer, but we will need it for, like, the following, like, winter and stuff. That's 59. I can't quite remember what they were up to. I don't feel like I need to give them that much. I think they were closer. Yeah, give them that. Yeah, they're at 100. I probably gave them a bit too much, but I've got 200s and 295s, so yeah, we're good. We're good with this. And if you can carry some of the shit home, that would be amazing. I know that somebody else is trying to bags it, but we'll stop that. Yeah. Alright, let me save that. I'll have to find somebody else to bring the rest of the meat in, and also I'll have to tell somebody else to kick them out. I don't think Dela Cruz does talking. So we're done trading. You guys go dismiss them. And when you're done, I'll get you to bring in the eggs. Because I'm pretty sure the panther is just calling dibs on it. So I actually bring in its hunt. So what I want to do is these ones that have not been built yet is put them on pause. Because as much as I need them built, I need the electricity. These ones got built. I do not mind that they're currently on rice. When I get more components, the first thing that should get built, theoretically, wherever it was, is the solar. Hopefully. Because I do need more solar in place to keep the actual electricity on for the additional, you know, hydroponics and crap. So I do need more hydroponics inside, but as you can see, some of these aren't getting electricity. Some of them might not have power all the way up to them too. So we'll work on that. I could probably take it up through there, but I don't really want to connect that side because I don't want it there forever. A few of these I actually just don't want where they are, but I have to make do for the moment because, you know, was it beggars can't be choosers or whatever, where like most of my colony is actively like starving. So, well, they're not actively starving, but like we need food. So yeah, whatever we can grow will be better. Okay, now have a great rest of the stream. No worries, Abra. I'll catch you next week by the sounds of it. So yeah, no more streams from me for the rest of the week. Truly, I'll be rigging the rest of this week. The only good thing is my computer can finally handle doing some fucking basic processes. So I'll slowly add things to it and I'll see how it handles stuff. Masterwork? Plain leather. Alright, that's fine. Okay, they're bringing in the majority of it. And they should be culling off the extra. They have still been, like, mostly harvesting all of this. Like, I'm still on them about it, but how are we going with food? They reckon they've got 449 full bars worth of food in storage. Right, which is a day's worth of food in storage. I was reading this so wrong earlier tonight. But that is still better than nothing. Again, this is all going to like swap out and regrow and stuff, and it still takes a few days. These animals are still going to use stuff. I would like to be able to send a caravan out. My only problem is to actually send a caravan out, I need to have my animals not going down. And wherever they put the caravan, like they have to basically like leave super fast. And I don't still have, oh, they're making a shit ton of kibble. That's not great. I will have to have a look at that in a second. We've got a lot of meat. We have some survival, simple meals and stuff. We have a lot of insect meat. I need to tell them to leave the fucking kibble production alone for the moment. We will come back to this later, but my people cannot be eating the kibble. I know that the reason why they're like making this, like I want you to finish your kibble. I'll come back to you in a second. The reason why they're making it is because I have the resources and the food's like basically right next to the benches, so it's really efficient for them to make it. But if my human people eat the kibble, they will be upset. If they keep it aside and they make it into meals, they won't be upset. The animals, like, they can feed them raw food, they can feed them like the other stuff, like whatever. Okay, let's take that off that. Okay, so no kibble production. I will have to remember that I have no kibble production. That is a legitimate issue. But we have got food production up and running. They are using this. They're using the bug meat in here, which is actually kind of useful. I'm gonna have a bit of water. Hold on. Putting the bug meat in here is kind of a good thing because I don't know if that makes it worse or better, but I think it's like, you know, shit food equals like same level, just -4 from whatever you put in it. So this should actually be super useful as long as this room isn't ultra hot, which it is 20 degrees. It could be cooler. I don't have those on. And I don't have these ones on. And I don't have the fireplaces in the center. These are on -9. I'm just going to drop these back. Another 10. These ones should be colder, but we are coming into summer. We are in summer. So them back. Those are not all the same. Hold on. Those are like -99. I know that like the further back it goes, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but like I can't put more air conditioners in here. So the only thing I can do is chuck all those back and then try to balance it with these. Although that one's going to need to be fixed. Troxomate, instead of whatever you are going to fix, stop. And no, stop. And I need you. Can you drop the thing, mate? Yeah? You're going to take it back to the thing. Hold on a second. Can I get you to just move over just a tiny bit? There. Okay. Can you pull that? I can't force him to fucking make anything. Alright. Alright, he's just going to go off and do that regardless. I think he's trying to take it back to the shelf, but he's just probably going to like take it back and do this. Doesn't matter. Wherever he puts it, he will put it. There's like 26 components. There is a chance that we have one, but I do know we've got a couple of broken things around the place. She have lots of things to say, but lately I know it's becoming too self-centered, and it makes you like, maybe it's best not to talk about such things because I'm not sure if it's a bad thing or good thing yet. Oh yeah. I guess the only thing you can do is like learn by like saying stuff to begin with, because like how are you supposed to know? Like it is also difficult when you do say stuff because like you rely on the other person like kind of like giving some kind of like response that helps you judge whether or not it was a good or bad thing. But like conversationally, most things are not necessarily like bad, you know, it's just like, it's more of like the time and place appropriateness kind of thing. It applies to whatever topics and stuff, you know. It's a little bit complicated to like explain that, but like, yeah, it's more so about like when and where and stuff a conversation is had, as opposed to like what the conversation is. Because like you should be able to talk about like almost most anything with like people that you're close to. Obviously, like if you went to like a general store or something like that and you had like a really deep private conversation with like, you know, a cash register person or whatever, that's probably inappropriate, you know. But it also depends if you know that person, and if it's a really, really slow day and nobody else is that close to hear you and stuff, like, you know, might be your only time to really talk and stuff. And it also depends on the person too. So it's one of those, like, there's a lot of context cues involved, you know. I mean that with you because lately I feel a bit bad that through the years I've been talking about myself for a long time. Nah, well, I have no problem with you coming in and having a chitty chat and stuff. Like, I like hearing about what you've been up to and stuff. Like, when I ask, like, how are you and what you've been up to, it's always genuinely, how are you? What have you been up to? Like, I am asking because I want to know and stuff, you know. Obviously, it's entirely up to you as, like, how much you want to actually, like, say. Because, as always, like I said, this is, like, I don't know who else is here. I never know who else is here or how many people are here or how many people may see this video in the future and stuff. So it's just mostly like, what are you comfortable with, you know? Obviously there's some times where like I am also just like super worn down myself and I just don't have it in myself to, I don't know, give back the attention and care and stuff. But at the same time, like, sometimes it's just nice to, like, listen to somebody else and, like, hear what they've been up to and stuff. Because, like, yeah. It's super weird because, like, I also, like, get times where, like, sometimes I am not feeling super chatty. And then I go live and I'm streaming and sometimes, like, it makes me chattier. Sometimes I just can't bring it and stuff. And I don't want people to feel like it's because I don't want to talk to them and stuff. I just don't have that energy. So usually I will try to, like, you know, directly mention that, you know, I am tired or I have been tired or whatever, and or whatever the fuck is going on, so people have like some context that it's not directed at them. It's rarely ever directed at somebody else if I've got very little fucks given to give, you know. Like, occasionally I do encounter somebody that's like, I don't have enough fucks to give for you, mate. You know? But, like, you know, as somebody else in my community, you can normally see, like, the conversation and be like, what the fuck are they up to? You know? Why are they doing that? Why are they saying that? You know? Like, yeah. Other people aren't, like, oblivious or anything. Emmy might have been out here for a while. It's fine. What's Stars doing? She can do plants. I like they're all coming out and kind of working on the plants. Like, I've been yawning like all hell tonight. Just like, I got woken up super early by a neighbor. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I think I heard briefly him saying that he was adding like a shade sail to the side of his house to the fence. And I'm like, good fucking luck. Like, I was just saying it to myself. I'm like, good fucking luck, because like that fence is about to fall over. Like, unless he's planning to fix the fence first. But like, I have no clue. Like, I'm not privy to the full fucking conversation, but like, you know, I woke up to like a lot of like fence hammering and banging and stuff this afternoon. And then I was awake all like afternoon, evening and stuff, because like I was just waiting for my partner to get home with some cat litter so I could change the cat boxes over and freshen up and stuff. And yeah, so like I really didn't like have much of a day. I've woken up kind of early, but I also know that like after I finish stream, even though RimWorld takes me a lot longer after streaming to like finish doing my editing and uploads and shit, I know that I can go for a sleep afterwards and like I can rest till tomorrow and then I'll do rigging for the next couple of days and it'll be fine, you know. You're starving. Emmy, yeah, I'm going to clear your priorities because you've been out here for a while. I left her in the paddock for a bit. She's fine. Distributors always have like most random things to say, like don't try to be more normal or whatever. You're great because, you know, you're uniquely you. So yeah, don't try to fit in and be generic. Like the best people are like uniquely weird, you know. Like I am by no sense a normal person. I stopped giving a fuck about trying to be like normal. Like I still have my moments where like I care sometimes, or somebody makes me feel like self-conscious in a way that I'm like, maybe I should like dial it back a little bit. But I also still, at least while streaming, still haven't like fully unleashed like the full tilt weird yet. Like you guys get like little snippets, especially when I get like deliriously tired, we get really close. But like, nah, I'm still like relatively reserved in that way. But I always do enjoy like the most random fucking questions that you come in with a waiver. It's like the highlight of my day. I sometimes like relive the conversation when I'm having a shower and like think through like where it was coming from, or like, you know, what was like impacting you, or how, like, you know, weeks later, how are you kind of thing. Like I sit there thinking about it kind of thing. Like I do this for like sort of everybody kind of thing, but you've got like some really like outliner sort of questions sometimes, or conversations that kind of just like stay with me in a positive kind of way. So yeah, never apologize for like asking weird questions or what you think is a weird question or a weird conversation and stuff. Sometimes like your drop conversation is just like the fucking highlight of my night. Honestly, I always love seeing you just like appear into chat and be like, you know, sometimes you just disappeared too and you're like off doing chores or cooking or something, and I'm like, I don't know if a waiver's still here, but you know. And then you'll come back and you'll hear like a part of the conversation. You'll be like, what's this about, like muscles or something? And I'll be like, I don't know how much you heard, but then I'll like backtrack it. I've got no problem with like you know, saying what the fuck I've already said and stuff. I obviously, like, if I've said something like too many times too frequently throughout a whole stream, I will kind of dial it back a tad. But like, I mostly ain't gonna stop, like, you know, like recapping and shit. Hey Shadow, I see you sneaking in here. What are you up to? Ever the one and only real life, was it Lunar Love God? Yeah, kind of. Just got like the most interesting, like knowledgeable stuff, you know. Like I was also thinking about, there was a conversation you had like ages ago about like your hair and stuff, about it being puffy. And I've seen like a lot of videos lately of like all sorts of like, you know, I think it's like 3B, 4C hair or whatever, and the different styles and stuff. And I'm like, man, some of those are like so beautiful. Like just like learning about it and stuff makes it more interesting. Like I can't quite remember if that's exactly what you've got, but at the same time, like, you know, it's fascinating because it's a full different like perspective of hair. Like we had like such a disconnect of a conversation one time of trying to like understand each other's hair and shit. It was great. I loved it. And I still think about it. Like I see these videos and I'm like, I wonder if you've ever tried this hairstyle, or I wonder if you use these products or stuff, you know, or like, you know, if any of this routine applies and whatever. Like, I know it's probably like super fucking weird and shit, but I do think about like people of my community and stuff well and truly outside of like my streams. This is why I said, like, at the moment while I'm taking all the days off to do the rigging and stuff, I don't get a chance to like come and hang out with you guys like 4 days a week and, you know, spend time chatting. I don't get a chance to see as many of everybody. I know at the moment, like, the daylight savings changed for a lot of people. So a lot of people are tired, or they're missing the stream schedule times and stuff because they're off by an hour, because my times don't change where I am. So it doesn't kind of match up and stuff. And then, you know, at the same time, like, you know, I do obviously like, I'm kind of like moving the days around a little bit at the moment. So it does make it a little bit harder for people to catch me very consistently, which does suck. But I always appreciate getting to see people whenever you guys are like around and get a chance to like drop in and stuff. It's nice, you know. Does it mean, well, believe it or not, in that Pixel game yesterday, me and a friend were eating babies and also using them to play volleyball as well. Yeah, so about that topic. So we had like a very similar conversation earlier about somebody asked me why I wasn't using like the biotech DLC. And I said that I think most like normal people that don't play RimWorld might be like a little horrified to see me, you know, slaughtering and peeling babies and like, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm like, see, that's on par with you're fine. But yeah, that's also one of the reasons why I don't use biotech. But we also don't do cannibalism as well, so that kind of thing just wouldn't work. As I said, I'd just abandon them outside. Like, I'd just take a caravan outside, abandon a pile of babies, and go back inside with, like, you know, the animal and the person, but not the babies. But anyway, yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier. So if you think your conversations are weird, trust me, I'm sure that we've probably dabbled on something just as strange. Like, as I said, like, I'm not the most normal person, so, you know, I'm not surprised if, like, you know, you come in and you get the most unusual last conversation, you know. What else? So yeah, dabbled, sure, just dabbled. What do you mean, dabbled? I mean, I tried not to, like, stay too far on the conversation because I realized that it could get, like, a little weird very fast. But, yeah. I mean, it still happened. The conversation still occurred. How are we doing? We have 2 days worth of food. Holy fucking shit. We are now up to 2 days food from 0. We're making progress, people. I added in, what are these things? Nutrient paste. And it's working. So yeah, we now have like a lot of food. I've also bought from like 4 traders twice over, plus 2 extras, and we had the bug infestation, so that was really good. This is super helping, which is great. I'm looking for people that I can. I like it can do planting. You'd be fine out here. Let me have a bit more water. Hold on. I'm pretty dehydrated. I was sick like right at the start of the stream when I hit the go live. My body just like my Crohn's just kicked me in the guts and was like, yeah, no, we're going to be in the bathroom for like 20 plus. So I was late to start stream, but I'm pretty dehydrated still from it. But yeah, Wave, if you've ever got like random ass topics and stuff like that, and you see me live and you feel like popping in and just saying hello and stuff, go for it. Like, don't hesitate. I always enjoy like whatever conversations you come in with. Like, I know that it probably, like, you know, this one's hard to explain, but every time somebody comes in, they probably get like a really specific, similar or same response from me or reaction or whatever. You're getting the same reaction from me each time because I'm still fucking excited to see you each time, you know, if that makes sense. Like, I was gonna make a joke about, like, we were talking about mods earlier where, like, I haven't got bored of Core Game or something, and I was going to jokingly say, like, I haven't got bored of you guys yet. That's really fucking mean. So what I meant to say was something more along the lines of, like, you know, I still enjoy, like, every single time you guys come in. So even though it might seem like I'm just, to you guys individually, generically happy to see you, I'm actually genuinely happy to fucking see you. And I know that's really weird, but yeah, it's a genuine response. It's a genuine reaction. Like, eventually when I have the avatar, I'm gonna have to learn to do like some face fucking acting because like I'm mostly deadpan and or like I have very little like control over like my like reaction to face and stuff. And I'm gonna have to like learn what the fuck my face is doing when I'm talking, which means that before I even get up to that stage, I'm gonna have to start streaming with a mirror so I can see what I'm doing. So I can maybe learn to exaggerate some expressions so that my face will move on an avatar and stuff, you know. I'm glad to be reassured because this is very conflicted about it. I got many tales to tell. Yeah, no, like, it's always okay to ask. Like, I've had a few people, like, genuinely be concerned about, like, stuff like that, but, like, you can ask. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, I know at one point you said that when you went into, like, other people's streams, you were having like trouble with some people where you would say something like, you come in and you say hello, and then you'd ask if you could ask them a question and stuff, and a lot of the time people got mad and stuff. I never got mad. I always knew it was your waiver. I always knew you had like an interesting question, and I always wanted to know what your interesting question was, or like topic and stuff. Like, I don't have like all the answers and stuff, and some of it's just kind of like, you know, confusing. But at the same time, it's still interesting, and I still like to be a part of it. I think that's an orange horse that needs to die. Somebody is breeding orange horses in here, and that's a fucking no-no. I didn't realize we had them on the top half here. They must have got jumbled, because I think that one's cream. At this time of day in RimWorld, it's really, really hard to tell. And I guess they're taking the dromedaries between the top and the bottom, which makes no sense. Unless they pop the fence again. Hang on a second. Did you guys pop the fence? No. They might just be moving them back and forth for the shits and giggles of it. They do that occasionally, so yeah. I think my animal tamers get bored and they just do it. I have got this like set that they can only have like a certain like type of animal in each. But yeah, they keep kind of like moving them every so often, you know. What else? We get that fixed. We did. Hold on. Yep, no, that's come down in temperature a little bit. This is like, oh, it's 25 in here. I could set up passive coolers. That's not going to help a lot, but it might help enough. Let's pop 2 of those in there. We'll see if we can bring down the central temperature just a tiny smidge, because I've got food in here. And I would prefer it not to spoil. I don't know if these things spoil, actually. Speaking of weird games, my friend recommended called X Pit. I literally did a concerned meme reading that title. Turned out it was just a hyper vampire survivors game. Oh yeah. Was it? Scared to imagine if I had moving avatar. When people often tell me that I have a very expressive face, absolutely no control over it. That's funny. No, okay, I was watching a clip of like, oh shit, which fucking, you know the Spider-Man movie where you've got all 3 of the dudes, right? Whichever one that is, right? I was watching a clip of that where you have like Tobey Maguire and stuff in it, and I was watching how he talked in the kitchen scene, and I'm like, he barely moves his mouth compared to the young expressive dude, and not the mini Tony, the other dude. I don't know the names. I wish I did, but I don't know the names. And anyway, I think you guys follow. So if you watch how Tobey Maguire speaks in that kitchen scene, yeah, Andrew Garfield, thank you. I roughly knew he has a name. I knew roughly of his name. I just didn't know what it actually was. But I've seen it, so I know it when it's in combination. But yeah, no, the Tobey Maguire dude, when he speaks and he barely moves his like lips and stuff, that is mostly how like I speak. So like I am gonna have to like learn to like emote a little bit, which is gonna be funny because I'll probably go through like months of like facial muscle pain, because like when I started streaming I had to like build up like mouth, jaw, face, like head, neck, everything muscles, because apparently you use all the way down to like your shoulders when you're like talking nonstop. I didn't know that. And of course, you know, the rib cage like moving around constantly with like lung capacity and shit. It's kind of like when you get a cold and you cough a lot. It's like that. So yeah, I will have to learn it for like my face. And I have heard that like some people that do like really long streams and stuff do have like obviously like face fatigue after a while. And I'm like, thankfully I don't really do super long streams, but I could see that being an issue if I was to do like, you know, a special event stream or something, you know, which by the way, I have actually announced when I'm doing like the special RimWorld Rim Connect streams as well. I think they're mostly like April, May kind of thing. So if you guys missed out on the building a ship quest thing that we did, we're gonna do a take 2 and see if I can do it better. So, because last time we kind of had like a starvation event where I turned off all the stoves and they started to starve, and I didn't do anything about it. So they were all kind of like starving. and tantruming like the last hour or two of stream, which was something. It was something. And then I got back into this colony, and then they were all kind of starving, and I'm like, I see there's a pattern here, you know. As I honestly don't try to be interesting. I'm genuinely just curious about what I ask about, like about yogurt, for example. I am pretty sure we have had like a deep conversation about yogurt before. I vaguely remember that. And I think you were asking like if I liked yogurt and like what my thoughts were on it and stuff. And I went into like how I don't like Greek yogurt and stuff. But yeah, I got no problems with that because like questions like that are sometimes just like mildly curious little things. Like sometimes I'm watching somebody and they'll do something and I'll want to know why, or I'll want to know what the backstory or history behind something is. But at the same time, like I'm not sure if it's polite to ask or if they've already been asked a bazillion times and they're sick of it. Like it's one of those things you can never really know kind of thing, and the only way to find out is sometimes asking. Although obviously like in certain cases, like if somebody has like a comment section, like if it's a video that you're watching, not somebody live, you can sometimes like watch it and see if there are answered questions, you know, down in the comments and stuff to like answer your question kind of thing. But yeah, when you're watching somebody live, it's a bit of a different thing. You know, the worst part is I've redone this